Anderson, Babyface Lane, that's his nickname, right? And Tupac went straight at him with the rest of the entourage, kicked him up, beat him up, right? Because of the death row chain, what was basically robbed from one of their people. So that was the hype from the match, the boxing match. You know, he was hype from Mike Tyson coming out of jail and winning a match, you know. And on top of it, he's on death row and this whole situation with somebody robbing a chain from one of their associates. So he beats up Orlando Anderson. I don't know if he knew who he was, but I guarantee Suge Knight know. If he knows the street, Suge Knight and all those, the rest of the individuals, they knew who they were dealing with, but they didn't care because they had their own people, you know, the Bloods, right? So they beat Orlando Anderson up, and then not too long after, maybe a couple hours, I don't know how the timeline went after they beat him up, because the story is, I guess, after the match, they went, Tupac went back to a hotel to change because they were going to go to one of a club. I don't know if it was called Club 66 or something like that, Suge Knight's club, one of the clubs, to celebrate the victory of Mike Tyson, right? So I guess he changes his clothes and he meets up with Suge Knight and the entourage, and they go into to the vehicles, and they're going towards this club which Suge Knight owns, right? And as they're going, right, as they're going toward this popular club, because remember that Crip, Orlando Anderson, got beat up not too long before them going to this club, right? So they must have spotted the vehicle, the entourage, and they had their plan in, you know, what they were gonna do. They find the vehicle Tupac and Suge Knight is in, and they light it up. They light it up. They shoot Tupac and they shoot Suge Knight, right? That's what happened. They light it up. So, you know the story afterwards, but is it possible that Orlando Anderson, right, and his side, because Puffy wanted a hit. Remember, he wanted a hit before all of this, before all of the what's called the rap beef. I'm talking about what was with the hit him up and all of that, right? He wanted a hit already. So is it possible that this was all set up way before? I'm talking about the chain being snatched from a death row associate, right? And after then, Orlando Anderson in a certain at the same place where he knows Tupac is gonna be, right? And I don't know, like, did he take, was the beating, not saying an act, but a way to, like, you know, take your beatings. You're in a public area, you know, they get jump already in LA culture for gangs, and that's the camouflage to basically do what they're gonna do, or probably influence his uncle in a way to kill Tupac for his own, to kill Tupac. It's kind of very confusing. Was Keefe D and Orlando Anderson, his nephew, already in cahoots, knowing that they're going to assassinate Tupac before the beating and everything? Because 1994, Quad Studios, right? Tupac, he got shot, and he blamed Puffy for that, and all of them. So from that time, there was a lot of things. There was tension way before '96. So for P.Diddy to feel comfortable and travel to California, he needed some type of security, some insurance, and that was Keefe D. So when they're saying Keefe D is the behind the murder of Tupac. When did this they're making it like they just went after Tupac because of his nephew getting beat up that same night, right? So if Puffy paid Keefe D, it was known way before that he wanted Tupac dead, before all this, even before Orlando Anderson got assaulted. So which one is it? Is it Orlando Anderson getting revenge and telling his uncle about this, or is it already a plan in motion? It was a plan in motion, or did the uncle Keefe D use this as an opportunity to camouflage what he's gonna do and electrify the situation with his nephew and say, yeah, he can't make him do that to you, knowing that now he has actually somebody to do his dirty work, which maybe he didn't do it yet, but that's just one angle, right? Now they have him locked up, Keefe D, because of him talking on platforms, going on Vlad, for example, talking. Rumor, I don't know exactly all the details, that he already talked to the authorities a long time ago about the Tupac murder case. And now, recent news, don't know if it's true, but there's rumored they want to indict Puff Daddy in the murder case, that his name came up 72 times. And then you're hearing, on the other hand, the police, right? I don't, who, I guess maybe the people who are supposed to be connected to the Tupac murder, law enforcement, they're saying there's no type of talk that Puff Daddy or P.Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs, is going to be indicted. That's just hearsay. Which one is it? Then you hear, because Puff Daddy's in all types of hot water with assaults and trafficking and all type of dirty shit, right? And you're hearing that he's a Fed, and they want to, like, basically, they already done ripped him apart and broke down his whole character, made his character look really bad, made it real bad. Now he lost a lot of investment, right? So the rumor is that they want to indict him for the murder of Tupac. Is that one reason you don't see them really pushing with this traffic stuff and all this sex allegations? You would think, because they have, not saying that's proof that he has done all of that, what they're accusing him of, but there is videotape of him abusing Cassie in a hotel. So, and then you're hearing that he's a Fed. It could make sense why isn't Puff Daddy charged after they even raided his house? You don't just raid anybody's house. And they always say the FBI always have an airtight case. They don't just go after people like that. They make sure they have an airtight case. So it's kind of weird that they done this raid, didn't find anything, didn't get indicted for trafficking, what he was accused of, all these sexual abuse allegations, nothing's gone through. The only one what's known is, and I don't know exactly if it's abuse or sexual abuse with Cassie. He didn't go to jail for that. She took a money grab, like, she took the money, and he's not charged with anything. It's just rumor, right? So what I'm gonna just rewind back to is there was already beef way before 1996 from Tupac getting shot at Quad, right? 94. That's what started it, over almost 2 years before he got shot and murdered. Like, he got shot again and murdered. So if Tupac put out a hit, right? I mean, let me correct myself. I said Tupac. Sorry about that. If Puff Daddy put out a hit, right? It's before 1996. That's what I'm basically saying. It was before 1996. It wasn't the same year as Tupac getting killed. It was before 1996, right after, not too long after the quad shooting of Tupac, because Tupac was red hot blaming Puff Daddy from 94 up until he got signed to death, up until he was on death row, 95. All Eyes on Me, yeah, 1995, right? Hit 'Em Up, you remember that? That's on which album? The 7-Day Theory, right? Machiavelli. This was all cooking way before he got shot. So Puff Daddy already wanted to do something. And it wasn't revenge for Biggie, because Biggie died after Tupac. Think of it. Biggie died after Tupac. 1997. I think it was March 1997, right? So Keefe D is a big part of this, right? And will this now I'm gonna get more deep, because a lot of people thought it was Suge Knight for a long time behind the murder of Tupac at one time, right? And if not Biggie. Now, this makes you wonder now with Keefe D and Puff Daddy, right? Biggie, who killed Biggie? You have to look at it different now. You can't believe everything. Is it possible that Puff Daddy is responsible for Biggie's death too? Because the rumor is Biggie wanted to leave Bad Boy. He had to do, he had to do something. Who killed Biggie? They're making it look like, oh, it's a revenge killing for Tupac. That was already planned. He already planned a hit from, like, if not a year or a little bit more, to get Tupac. Because he was scared. Maybe he didn't want them to get him. I don't know. But it was already planned before 1996. But after Tupac died, they had to make it look real, even more real, by Biggie getting killed. So who killed, if Puff Daddy's guilty of killing Tupac, to make it look like it's the West Coast, right? And people are going to investigate. It's possible he got Biggie killed to cover himself up. Look at all this stuff coming out against Puffy. You can't believe anything what he says. It's possible that Biggie, he set that whole thing up. It's possible he set that whole thing up and got even Biggie killed. Right? They're making it look like it's revenge. He goes to California, right? With Biggie, and then Biggie gets killed from California people because of the beef of Tupac. But correct me if I'm wrong, because a lot of people didn't know who Keefe D is, in the public eye those times. So if Puff Daddy had this man, right, as security when he goes to California, it didn't end after Tupac got killed. He still was his security in California. Putting it out there. He still was his security after Tupac got killed. If not more, he needed more, because people are accusing them, right? They're accusing the East Coast, anyone associated of Tupac's death. So if anything, when going out to California to be so brave, he had to have some backing. And after then, what's called Biggie got killed. That's kind of strange. He gets killed in California and they have all this protection. It's coming out that he's saying that Puff Daddy paid $1 million for the hit on Tupac. So did it end after 96, the relationship? And after then, 97, Biggie gets killed going to California? So Tupac got shot in Las Vegas, which is still the West. Biggie got shot in California, right? So it did not, and that's the heart of where the Crips and the Bloods are. And you're telling me that Puff Daddy, if he had this man do a hit a year before, he wouldn't have security, that same type of backing in 97? Make it make sense. I'm giving you this. You have to look on it. Way before 1996, 94, there was beef. Right? So, I'm Sean Myrie of the Down to Earth podcast. Please subscribe.